Hello everyone, welcome back to the Ritual Flow. For today's reading, we are doing a monthly reading for December 2023 for the sign of Scorpio. So if you are a Scorpio sun, moon, rising, or any other placement you're feeling called to take a look at, then these messages are for you. Please keep in mind, though, this is a general reading, so not every message will resonate with everyone. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Don't try to force anything to fit if it's not matching your energy. This is also a timeless reading, so if you're seeing this at some time after December 2023, then that's just a good indicator that the messages contained in it are more relevant to you now than they would have been then. All right. So let's get into it and see what's going on for you this month, Scorpio. It feels like you're making some sort of decision. Something is weighing heavily on your mind. You've sort of... this decision is something... It feels like you've been thinking about it for a while. And it's like within this decision is contained like an element of karmic clearing. Like something needing to be resolved. Closed out even, so that you can align with like a higher spiritual path for yourself. You've been like experiencing like a sense of like stagnation, like your growth in your life, like overall in general, has been stalling, and or like everything feels the same. It feels like you're just sort of like stuck in limbo, sort of like waiting around. Like I'm hearing Groundhog Day. Like every day is kind of essentially the same. It's like, yeah, some little like details might be different like one day to the next, but it's sort of like you feel like you've stopped growing in your life. And like how you conduct it, like in the day to day. It feels very mundane, very stale in some way. Like you're not really getting anywhere. And it's like you have this decision to leave that situation behind and like elevate yourself, like choose a different path for yourself. But you're letting like previous experience of hurt, loss, heartache, grief, like get in the way, like sort of weigh on your mind and your heart in a negative way. That's like keeping you in that space, in that cycle of not really moving forward, not really growing. Just sort of like ruminating and like even like recreating those past experiences of hurt for yourself by not allowing you to like not allowing yourself to leave them behind and like go seek something better. And there is, like, this does feel specifically connected to a scenario that you're in with a relationship because of like the way these cards came out specifically. Wow, I just realized these are almost all, like, the Three of Swords here is the only one that is not a major arcana. This is a huge life decision for you. I saw 555 on the clock when I said that. Yeah, you're like, this is a major point of change for you in your life. It determines how the rest of your life is going to go. And it's like it feels like either like choosing to stay with someone who like repeatedly causes a lot of pain, a lot of feeling lost, like feeling emptiness, the hollowness even in some way with this person. It feels like a superficial connection with one person, where this other person you have a very like deep spiritual connection and like a very strong alignment of values with this person that you may not even fully be aware of or understand yet. And I'm also getting that, like, you've had some sort of realization, like, your values as a person have changed over some period of time. And this old person, like, fits your, like, the old you. And this other person that you're thinking about is more in alignment with, like, the new you. Like, the new values that you hold. But this is something that, like, you've been sort of keeping to yourself, like keeping internal, like, letting those feelings be hidden. It's sort of like putting on a facade with this person that you have a history with that, you know, is like an energy of like keeping up appearances, not letting how you really feel like fully be seen or come to light. And also like not allowing to be seen and come to light, like how strongly aligned you are with this other person that you have an opportunity with. And it's like you've been in this period, like this like stage of feeling stuck and not moving. You're being asked to make a commitment toward your own growth, toward aligning yourself with a higher timeline and opening yourself up to a new experience, that one that makes you feel very, very vulnerable, very exposed in some sort of way, but that ultimately, like, that allows you to step into a more authentic expression of your life. Let's clarify judgment here. Whoa. Okay. So, yeah. You're looking at this like past situation and it's causing you to feel disappointment. You're wanting to grow and that's not what's been happening for you. And you do see this new opportunity to grow. It makes you feel inspired. It makes you feel excited. Despite but you also are feeling like still looking back at the past at like what you've lost, what's falling away, and it's sort of like affecting your attitude, affecting your ability to be inspired by this opportunity. And the choice you make is intended to bring things back into balance for you. There's so much energy here toward moving forward, moving on from what has failed, what has not panned out to be what you wanted it to be, what has not changed with you as you have changed. Yeah, it's like you're like on the precipice of deciding to like pursue your own growth, to pursue this opportunity for a new beginning. Something that you feel very like passionately about, that like piques your curiosity in a way that like hasn't happened in a while. Like you've been living life in such a way that it feels like you've seen it all, essentially. And it's like, in some respects that's true. In your immediate surroundings, in this like old version of your life, you have seen it all. It's like you've outgrown that, and it's time to move on and open yourself up to new things, like new ideas, new experiences, new sides of yourself. Yeah. And this energy that you've been stuck in, you've been in this pattern of like deceiving yourself, being dishonest with yourself about like what's right for you, what's good for you, what's enough for you. It's like you're trying to tell yourself that the old life you've built around you was like, you know, this is exactly what I wanted to build. This was like everything that I dreamed of. But it's like that was the old that was the old you dreaming. And it's like you haven't necessarily been willing to admit the level to which you have changed, and that trying to force yourself to remain behaving and living in old ways that you've outgrown isn't serving you. There's a need for you to put work into like looking at yourself and honoring the ways in which you have changed, to be like honest and upfront with yourself about what used to work for you that doesn't any longer. And in doing so, like, be willing to surrender and let those things go. And I'm not saying that's an easy thing to do by any means, but having the growth that we desire isn't frequently easy. In fact, it's often quite painful and difficult. But surrendering to that call to grow is ultimately, in the long run, less painful than if you were to hold yourself, keep deceiving yourself, and keeping yourself in this situation that you've outgrown. It's like at some point there comes like a tipping point where it hurts less to do something like new and scary and like jump into the unknown, than it does to stay where you're at and stay where you're like quote unquote comfortable. Because in reality, like, it's, you know, when you outgrow something, like, it's too small or not the right shape to fit the version of you that you currently are, and pressing against the walls, the restrictions, the limitations of that can be quite painful. More painful than navigating uncharted territory. Okay, let's look at the Three of Swords. Yeah. Something about this connection from the past that you're like grieving, feeling like heartbroken about in some way. It didn't feel very balanced. It didn't feel very mutual. One person was giving more in that relationship than the other. The other was taking more. And it was like a form of control. It's not clear like what direction that goes in. If like someone was like giving excessively to sort of to like hold that over the other person's head of like look how much I've given you, and whatever, to make it smaller what the other person was contributing. I don't know, but this feels like yeah. This feels like more of an energy of someone like taking more than what is fair for what they're giving in return. And maybe that was happening to you. Like you were being generous, polite, like giving, like thinking about the future, wanting to build something that had some longevity. But this other person just like taking, and it's like however much you could give would like never be enough. I mean, I mentioned something before about this feeling very superficial, and this sort of like this energy like confirms that for me. That like someone is like worried about like how they appear. And maybe the old you bought into that as well, and maybe still struggles with like some remnants of that energy of like worrying how you look to other people. But it's like you're having this energy of like demanding like feelings of like peace and love. It's like this feeling that like you could never rest because like you always had to be giving more, to like an insatiable need, perhaps. It's like this feels like another person, but I get that it could also be inside yourself as well, like letting that part of you die. Like it's been a challenge for you to recognize that like you can take control of this situation. You can take control of your own life. Yeah, it may like disappoint this person that's like taking advantage of your generosity. Like if you stop giving so much to them, they may see it as you like not giving enough to the connection. But it's like, you have to consider like, what are they giving you in return? Like, what are they contributing to this like vision for the future? I'm getting this really strong message about like someone like having difficulty saving money for like future plans, like things that you would like to do together as like a family or a group or something. And it's like, because someone is like always spending the money that you would save for that on like superfluous things. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, you're in this energy of like finding that you value not just like that like instant gratification like you used to, but like creating something that like carries into the future. It's like creating experiences like together, like creating something lasting, like a legacy. And it's like giving this energy of like it being like squandered by this other person in some way, and that like leaving you heartbroken, and you having like difficulty like coming to terms with that, and like taking back the control, and like putting a stop to that situation, that scenario, that imbalance that like you've been allowing, because it was sort of like living that sort of like lifestyle, like I said, of instant gratification is like what you used to live in more so than what you're like wanting and like moving towards for the future. Let's look at the lovers here. Yeah, there's this element of like aligning with these new values. That's what you're being called to do. Like, wow. It's like there's so many options for how you could live your life, and like spirit has been like guiding you towards options that are more aligned for you as you are like wanting to grow and change and see something different in your life. You're being called towards that. It's like you are sort of developing, or have like had this, or like are developing this vision for the future that looks quite different from how you've been living. And this other person is aligned with that vision. It's like you may have been like receiving signs and synchronicities, like indicating that, like to like choose this option, to follow this path, that like your desire for something more is inextricably tied to your desire for this other person, your desire to like shift things, like the growth that you've been seeing internally. It's like this new connection with this new person is like an external manifestation of like shifting yourself to a new like higher timeline, where you're going to be able to create the long-term goals that you're just like dreaming of, and being like disappointed that like they're not shared and like not valued in this like current or past situation. It's like you have an opportunity to be on the same page with someone when it comes to like a long-term vision for the future, and that's something that you've been desiring, and that's what spirit is ultimately like calling and guiding you towards, like showing you the signs, like making like shifting things to make things more uncomfortable for you to stay where you're at, rather than create movement and alignment with this like outcome of this like new situation. It's like the path there is being illuminated for you. But you're still, it's like you've been having some trouble like following it clearly and like significantly. For one thing, because you're like hiding your feelings, like you're like keeping all this inside to some degree. And you're also like getting yourself like having like sort of a pessimistic attitude regarding like the loss, like the time, the investment that you put into this like past person, past situation that you have history with, and like only for it to not be like aligning with the vision that you see for yourself now. It's like you wanted to create something long term, but it's like it's not matching your vision, or like, and that could just be because your vision has changed. And the new vision you have aligns you with this other person, but you're like still experiencing some sort of fear that it doesn't, that it won't, that you're just going to find yourself in another situation like the one that you've been in already. And that's where like following those signs, like the illuminated path, the intuitive signals that you've been getting are very important. Not letting fear rule your decisions, letting what you inherently know on a level that is like beneath fear. Yeah. Like when you commit yourself like to this path of like growth, of like shifting gears, shifting onto a new timeline, walking away from what doesn't serve you anymore to like find something better, you're and there's also a need to like communicate this, like not let these feelings be hidden anymore for the people that it's like relevant to. But you're going to like when you commit yourself to leaving what's like old and stale and misaligned behind, to like go align yourself with what matches your values, what creates happiness, that's the experience that you're going to have. It's like there's this underlying fear that you're like not going to find better, that you're not going to like be happy or like find the happiness that you've been lacking, that you desire. And like spirit is saying like, no, that's not what's happening. Look, that's not what's happening here. It's like those are just your fears getting the better of you. Like you may have also even been like talking to these two people at once. Like this could be like like 3 people involved, and it's like leaving behind that situation, like making a choice and choosing love, like choosing to honor your feelings, honor where you don't align, you're not the same person that you used to be, that like you want more, you feel more, and like allowing yourself to pursue that. It's like making that commitment to you and what you need is like the actions necessary to like have your wishes come true, to like have your dream come true. It's like any sort of fear you have of like repeating the past is like irrelevant here. It's like the only way you're going to repeat the past with this situation is if you stay in the past situation and keep repeating that over and over again, or if you come into this new situation and like try to treat it as if you are your past self. It's like, as long as you choose and fully commit, like, I want to grow, I want something better, and I'm going to have better, then you absolutely will. You absolutely will. And you're like, the way this is coming through, like, you're meant to. You're really meant to. Yes, there's like a new relationship, a new emotional opportunity, a new pathway of your feelings that is opening up for you, and you just have to commit yourself to pursuing it. It's going to be what you wanted. You just have to let go of the disappointment of what has transpired already in order to open yourself up to the new possibility, the new, like, more aligned pathway that awaits you. Okay, let's look at this oracle and see if there's anything else they would like to add. Obstacles. Yeah. There are definitely obstacles when it comes to creating a new path for yourself, alignment. It's like your obstacles are the past, like your own, like the life you've created for yourself that doesn't align with you anymore. The fear you have around leaving that behind, about things not getting better. But yeah, it's time to close that door. Like, it may be hard to get over that wall, to get over that barrier, to get on this new timeline. But like, it's absolutely time to close that door, to allow yourself the grace to experience something better than like keeping yourself stuck in this pattern, to forgive yourself for putting yourself and others there in the first place, to like have forgiveness for the entire situation. It's like, this is how we learn, this is how we grow. We get into situations that aren't right for us, or that were right for us at one point in time, and then we see the changes within ourselves, or the lack of change that we want to see, and we choose something different. But we have to forgive what was and let it go in order to make space for what's coming in, what will be. And I'm getting this message that like this winter, that's interesting that this is the card that came out on the bottom. We're getting ready to move into winter here in December, and this winter is going to sort of be like the gestation period for you. You may still have like some moments of like processing, but it's like this is like a period of time for you that is sort of like your rebirth occurring. like having the conception of how you've been deceiving yourself and wanting to do the work, getting past those obstacles, allowing yourself to grow on an internal level so that then you can create the growth that you want to see, the changes that you want to see in the external. And it's like after winter, your life will look and feel, more importantly, feel quite different. Because that's part of your hang up, that's part of your obstacles, is like worrying about what your life looks like. We can't be worrying about what it looks like, especially to other people from the outside that aren't living this life. It's your life. It's important for you to pay attention to how it feels for you and to not hide that. To be honest with yourself about how things feel and how you want to feel, and allowing yourself the opportunity to feel something good. Okay, so if this reading resonated with you, give it a like, comment down below, share it with someone, subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. Thank you for letting me read for you today. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can see details on how to do that in the description box below. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye, Scorpio.